So, hi guys, and welcome back to this C programming tutorials. Today we are going to see about arrays and strings. So basically, first we'll learn what is an array. So array is basically a collection of different elements of the same data type. Like we have learned about data types in our previous videos, where we have seen that we have integer data type, floating point data type, character based data type, and etc etc. So array is a data type. It is a derived data type. Okay, and this data type is a collection of different elements of the same data type. It is like you enter the same data type many times. Okay, like you enter integer, suppose you want 10 integers to be entered. Okay, I cannot sit and write int a comma b comma c comma d comma e and so on up till whatever the count is for 10. Okay, but instead of that, array makes it very simple to write a program involving many data types, like many variables for the same data type. Okay, so there are basically two types of arrays. One is called one-dimensional array, and the other is called two-dimensional array. Okay, so one-dimensional array basically it has the structure like this. So you will be having, suppose this is one layer, this is the other layer, and this is the other layer. It goes on like this. So this would be equal to 0, and this would be equal to 1, this would be equal to 2, and so on. These are called the index numbers of the array. Then this is the area where the data is stored. Okay, so the index of an array always starts from 0. Okay, and the way to enter data or retrieve data from an array would be using a for loop. Okay, you can use a nested for loop for a two-dimensional array and a single for loop for a one-dimensional array. So basically that's the theory part. We're going to see a small program, but first I would like to show you the syntax of array. I will be showing it to you within the program itself. So basically the program has no changes in it. Like you will be having the same hash include stdio dot h, and then you would be having the same main function again. Okay, main function is a function that gets executed when the execution button is pressed. Like that is the first thing the program goes and searches for. Okay, then we have a common flower brackets. Okay, and yeah. So first we need to declare an array. Okay, so basically to declare an array, it is the data type name and some variable, like I'm taking a, and then you need to declare the number you require in a square bracket only. Square bracket is used, and suppose you want 10 elements to be printed out. Okay, we are going to enter 10 elements, and then again we are going to print all the 10 elements out. Okay, so you need a of 10. It is read as a of 10 or a of number of elements, or it is called as size of the array. Okay, and then for the for loop we need a minimum of one variable. I'm going to take it as I. Okay, compulsorily if you're using an array, okay, for a one-dimensional array you need to declare a variable I. Not necessarily I, you can declare your wish, but for me I go with I because that is much more easier for me. And for a two-dimensional array I would be using I and j, because we use two for loops and two different variables. So I and j, that is what I would be using. You can use your own, not a problem. You can use g and h, anything like that, not a problem at all. Okay, so first step would be we have to use a for loop. For loop, as you know, for loop has three parameters. One is the starting point, that would be I is equal to 0, because the index of an array starts from 0, and then I should be less than 10. That is what is the greatest value in that array, and has an incrementer. I plus plus. Okay, no flower bracket, no semicolon, flower brackets open. So then you need to enter scanf because we are taking an input. Okay, and I would be entering %d because we have used an integer value, and then ampersand a of, here remember you should not enter 10 but enter I, because you will be entering value using the I, and I is incrementing. So when I starts from 0 and goes up to 9, I less than 10 means I goes up to 9 and then comes out from the for loop. Okay, so you should take I over there such that this I value would be starting from 0 to 9 and we entering the values into A of 10. Okay, so you need to take up I over there. I is the variable I have taken for the for loop. It can be any variable, it's up to you. There's no rules and regulations that you need to take I only. It is easier to take I because I feel it easier. I feel it like it is much more easier for remembrance purposes. Okay, then we're going to print these values. So I less than 10 again. Then remember one thing, when you're printing it, it should be printing in the same order. So basically you need to do the same thing while printing also. So the same for loop in the same flower bracket and printf. Printf is a function for printing. I would like to print it like %d /t. /t is a function, is a keyword used to get the line next after. It's like you go in a Microsoft Word and type a few lines and then enter, gets into the next line. The /t is the same. We have one more thing, /t is for tab. It gives 8 spaces, and /n is for the next line. Sorry for the mistake. Then we have, and again you should print it using A of I only. You should not use A of 10 anywhere. Okay, so this is the program, guys, for a single or a one-dimensional array. Okay, let us just run this program and see. As you can see, it's telling me to give an input. I would be giving 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So it has printed 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to show you what does /n also do. So /n, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. So as you can see, /n has done it like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, all in different lines, and /t has brought it in a single line with 8 spaces in between. Generally you can change that in the settings of code blocks, but when you are using Ubuntu's Nano text editor, or if you're using GNU/CC text editors like a primitive text editor like command prompt or anything else, you cannot change the tab values, but code blocks allows you to change the tab values. So that's for the one-dimensional array. So now we're going to learn about the two-dimensional array. So two-dimensional array basically has 2 dimensions, like it has a dimension in the see, I show you. It has a dimension in 2 ways. Like suppose this is a array, okay, a body of an array. Okay, so this is one element, this is the other element, this is the other element, this is the other, this is the other, and this is the other. So it is like a matrix. Okay, it is just like a matrix. If you have learned about matrices, you will be knowing this. Okay, so it is like a matrix. So a matrix has a row and a column. Okay, so basically this is a 3x3 matrix. So 3x3 matrix basically contains 9 elements. Okay, so how does this two-dimensional array work? Okay, basically the syntax is the same, except you need to add the size 1 and size 2 instead of the only size. Okay, and then you need to use two for loops with two different variables. One is I and the second one is j. For my convenience, I'm using them. You can use different ones too. Okay, so then how do you enter elements into this? First, the first element gets entered into the first column. Okay, the I 0 of 0. Okay, then when first element gets entered into the first, it goes like I of 0 gets into this, it checks for j of 0, checks into that, and then it works. I'll be showing it to you with the help of a program itself. It would be easier for you. Okay, so we would be entering elements into an array and then displaying it too. Okay, this 2D and two-dimensional array is used in calculator programming, where you need to add two matrices or subtract two matrices, multiply two matrices. You can do even diagonalization of matrices. It has many uses. Okay, so two-dimensional arrays, how to use them, I'll just show you in a moment. Okay, so hash include, the program is the same, there's no difference in the programming language, everything is the same, main function. Okay, then you have the same flower brackets. You need to use, this is the syntax, integer. I'm entering on integer values. So a is my matrix, some variable. Okay, taking two square brackets, I would like to enter a 2 by 2 array. Okay, you will generally use the matrix format for denoting these. Okay, like you denote it like, how do you denote a matrix like 2 cross 2 or 3 cross 3, so on. You can denote a two-dimensional array also like a of 2 of 2. So that would be mentioning that a is an array, two-dimensional array with 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, and then as I said, you need two integers. I would be preferring I and j only. It is easier for me to remember those. Okay, and then see, first for loop. This is the first for loop I'm going to use. Okay, it is the same as the previous one. I is equal to 0, and then since it is less than 2, so I less than 2, and then always remember how much matrix size have you taken. What final value should be less than that always, because the index starts from 0 and not from 1. Okay, so and then I would be incrementing I plus plus. So what happens here? First the program goes into the first for loop, checks for the for loop whether the for loop is within the given value. Okay, and then enters into the for loop. So and then it encounters the next for loop. Okay, inside the next for loop, right, we're going to see now. Next for loop would be having, we're going to use the second element, the second variable, j is equal to 0. What is we have to use again the same column number. Okay, and then we need to increment j plus plus also. Okay, and then entering into this for loop, now you need to enter scanf. Okay, scanf percentage d. Okay, you're entering a single element, so percentage d comma ampersand a of, you need to enter the elements variables, that I and j. So I and then j. So this would be the input function. Okay, so now basically first let us see how does this work. If you get to know how does this work, you can easily write you can get to know about arrays and do wonders with it. See, first the program checks for the initial value. Okay, if initial value satisfying this, if since 0 is less than 2. Okay, let me just open a notepad file. Just show you. See, first I is equal to 0. Okay, the program enters inside. Okay, the program knows that it is less than 2, so it enters inside, checks for the next. Suppose now j is equal to 0. Okay, j is equal to 0 is j less than 2, so it enters inside and prints j is equal to 0. So I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0 would be the first element. Okay, then next this j plus plus gets incremented. First, doesn't exit this for loop because this is not yet completed. Okay, so in this itself it goes for j is equal to 1 now. Okay, so j is equal to 1, this I would be the same. I is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the second value now. I is equal to 0 and j is equal to 1 would be the second value now. Okay, then now if it goes for j plus plus again, so j will be equal to 2. But what is our required condition? J should be less than 2. It should not be equal to 2. So if we take j is equal to 2, now the program will come out of the for loop. Okay, it will go above. Okay, because this for loop is bounded by these brackets, so it should go here again. Okay, this time I will have an incremented by 1, so I will become 1. Okay, again the program will enter inside. If it enters inside this time, okay, the program enters inside, it checks first what is that, j is equal to 0. That would be the second element. Okay, I mean the next element. Okay, and then we need to increment j, so j is equal to 1 again. Okay, then I value would be the same. Now again j will be incrementing. J cannot be equal to 2, so it comes out. Okay, I also cannot be equal to 2, so the program completely comes out. Okay, so a 2 by 2 matrix will always have 2 elements in it. Okay, so this is the way an array works. Okay, basically first 0, 0 element gets in, and then you have j is equal you have an j incrementer, then comes the I incrementation, then again j goes for incrementation, then once j the conditions are perfectly satisfied, then it again comes out and increments I until the I gets completely implemented. Okay, the program doesn't come out, the for loop doesn't end. Like if I suppose I put 10 and 10 here, okay, if I put 10 here, 10 here, and I put 10 here and 10 here, okay, this thing continues until it gets those 100 elements out, because matrix always contains the number of elements is equal to rows into columns. So here we have 4 elements, we got 4 elements here. Okay, so if I put 10 and 10, it would go for 100 elements continuously. Okay, it would ask us to enter 100 elements, and it can ask us also to print 100 elements. Okay, so that is the way it works. So, and printing is also the same. So first we need, I'll just copy for I is equal to 0 first, then I less than 2 next, then I plus plus, need to open the flower brackets, then again a for loop for j is equal to 0, j less than 2, j plus plus, again a flower bracket. Okay, I would be using printf %. Always remember, you should use the variables for this and not the values. If you use the values, the program is going to give you an error. Garbage values are going to be printed. So to avoid that, always use variables. If you have got any garbage values in your program, always remember the program is right, the human is wrong. If you tell the computer is wrong, then your life is going to go waste. That's for sure. Okay, so let us run this program and see what. Okay, so now we need to enter 4 elements. I would be entering 10, 9, 8 and 7. Okay, then we're going to get printed like 10, 9, 8 and 7. Okay, since we have not given any /t's or anything, okay, that value got printed like that. So I would be just giving a /t over here, so that and it would be printing it in different lines. So I mean with a tab 9, 8 and 7, it would be printing it like this. Okay, suppose you want to print this in a matrix form. Okay, you have got a challenge that you have to print this in a matrix form under any cost. Okay, it's very simple, guys. Just put an enter here and then write here printf, okay, /n. That's it. It would do the work. So now you see, I would be taking 10, 9, 8 and 7. So as you can see, it has printed it in the matrix format. Okay, this is the matrix form 10, 9, 8 and 7, 0, 0 row. This would be 0, 1. This would be 1, 0 and 1, 1. Okay, so that is the way this two-dimensional array works. Okay, then this is all about the arrays. You can use this same method to add matrices, multiply matrices. I would be putting the multiplication of two matrices program into my website. so you all can check that out. Okay, then you can even find transpose of a matrix and diagonal sum. I would be printing all these programs into my website, so don't worry guys, so that you can just check this out, and even these two programs what I've showed you here. Okay, so now we will go to strings. So basically now we have seen arrays are a collection of different elements of the same data type. Okay, but we have used only integer. Okay, you can use floating point. Okay, you can use double, not a problem at all. Okay, but the character, whatever you use for the character, okay, that is called a string. The array of characters is called strings. Okay, string is basically when you want to enter a group of characters into the program. Okay, like suppose, okay, you want to enter a program where you want to print your name, but you want to enter it like a single element at one time, and then print your name in a single line. Okay, at that particular times you will be using the string. Okay, or else like if you use a character variable, it allows you to enter only one value. If you enter more than one value also, it will take only that's first. If you enter A, B, C, D, it will take only A and it will not take B, C, D. Okay, so basically to eliminate that, we are going to use a string. Okay, basically string has a few functions called string handling functions. Okay, there are 4 string handling functions. One is called a string length, the other one is called a string, it's called as strcat, strcat, or else it is known as it joins two strings. Okay, like you want to print, suppose you want to print u and tube. Okay, u plus tube. Okay, that is what you want to join these two strings. So YouTube, a single word. Okay, if you have seen, okay, in banking applications or any online application, okay, or a small registration form for an online email ID or anything. Okay, you might have seen it tells you to enter your name in 2 separate parts, like last name, middle name and first name. But when the final confirmation page, you get it like your first name, then your last or middle name, then your last name. You're going to get the name in a sequence over there. Okay, so that is generally used this, they use this strcat function over there to join these two strings. Okay, and then we can use the next function is called string copy function, strcpy. Okay, so basically string copy function is used to copy a string from one string to the other string. Like if you have seen in some application forms, okay, like if you have gone through application forms where you need to confirm your mobile number first, but the contact number automatically gets copied over there whatever you enter into your mobile number. Okay, like specific websites for recharges, okay, where you enter your mobile number, but you get even the contact number for the mobile number the same over there. You can edit it as per your choice, but it automatically gets copied over there. So then you use the string copy function. You copy a string from that one area where you're entering it to the other area where you require it. Okay, that is basically the string copy function. And then we have the string compare function. Okay, so you're going to compare two strings. Remember, for the string compare function, including capitals. Okay, if you enter a capital value, it's going to be wrong. Like suppose if you enter capital YOU capital TUB, the comparison should be done with capital YOU capital TUB and not YOU TUB. Okay, if you do it like that, it will tell it's not comparable or it is not equal. Okay, because there is something called Ascii values. Okay, where each and every letter, let it be a capital letter or small letter, okay, is allocated a separate number. Okay, so this C programming or any programming you consider will convert those letters you enter into a number. That number goes into this binary digit which the computer can process. Okay, so generally starts from 32 for small a. Okay, that is the basics. For small a it is 32 and for it goes up to 91, I guess. I'm not sure about the values correctly. So I'm going to show you the string value functions for all these things. So string functions First for we'll go, I'll be showing you for one, that is for string length. The remaining programs would be in my website. Okay, so string के लिए we need first a hash include stdio will be common. Okay, and then for strings, okay, you need a specific preprocessor directive file, okay, or a header file to be specific. We need to include, okay, string.h, okay, string.h. This would be our header file if we want to use a string function. Okay, and then the main function is as usual. Brackets are as usual. Remember guys, to use a string we need the string.h function. We need to use a character data type, okay, and then we need to use an array. Okay, I'm going to enter 20 characters basically, and remember we don't need to use an for loop for entering data into a string. Okay, you can directly enter data into a string using two functions. One is called as getS, and then other is called as putS. Okay, getS is an input function for string, or getString, it is short for getString, and putS is for a printing function. It is like a printf function for the strings. It is called as putString. Okay, so basically we can use these two input functions. Okay, these are called as non-formatted input functions. Okay, and the printf and scanf are called as formatted input functions. Formatted input output functions. Okay, so then I'm going to take an integer for length. Okay, because length is an integer value. Okay, we're going to define it also. Then we're going to printf that enter a string. /n, take us to the next line, and then we're going to put in get s of a. Okay, no need of array size or anything, going to automatically take in the array size. Okay, remember guys, when you're entering a of 20, not more than 20 letters should be entered. If you enter more than 20 letters, it's gonna give you an invalid value, or else it's going to give you a garbage value over there. Okay, so if you want to enter more, suppose your name contains around 30 letters. Okay, just put in 30 over there and try it out. It's gonna you need to take an average value. You need to have that in mind that my name is gonna be huge. Okay, then length would be the integer value. We're going to use the function strlen, okay, of a, of a. Okay, and then we're going to print this percentage comma length. Okay, we're going to print this length out. Okay, so I'm going to use slash and let us go now. F9. So enter a string. I'm going to enter YouTube. Okay, so as you can see, you can count it manually. YOU 3 4 5 6 7. So it has printed out 7. You can use it for anything else also. Like let us print United States of. It has printed 16. You see, I didn't go for America, because if I go for America, it's gonna again print me a garbage file. I'll just show you that also. So suppose if I've taken my name, Srivastav, okay, it's greater than 20. Okay, it has printed. Okay, it's not greater than 20. Fine. No, sorry. Okay, let us go for this one. United States of America. Just printed 24. Okay, so basically this is used for only string comparison. You can enter any value. I'm sorry for that. So that's it about strings, guys. I'm going to put the remaining 3 programs onto my website. You can just go and have a look at them. Okay, and we're going to meet in the next lesson. Thank you.